you know? But now with this pressure, it's forcing me to be like, all right, what is the most efficient way I can do it? Fuck, I don't know. Let's just hope it works. But anyway. Fuck it. Yeah.
It was good. Yeah.
It was good.
Shout out everybody. Thank you for coming back.
Yeah, guys.
Love
thanks.
you guys.
We don't really know what we're doing right now, so we're just gonna have a bit of a chat. Probably won't be a typical
I haven't
length.
seen. How long's it been? Since we last spoke, it was the St. Lane interview. That was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, St. Lane. So these ones are obviously shot a bit late, guys, and we're just chatting, and there's delays, obviously. We timed it well though, because we released that St. Lane one when he released a song, so that worked well.
Yeah, fuck, that's mad.
So far, dude, the best viewed video that we've got in terms of even watch time is Soiree's one. Like, not even close.
Yeah, really.
His average watch time is about 7 times longer than the other videos.
Damn.
So Soiree, shout out Soiree, we love you.
He's a hidden.
And
he's
apparently
a hidden
everyone
gem,
else
guy,
loves
I'll
you.
tell you what. He's a hidden gem.
Yeah, 100%.
I love him to bits, that guy.
Yeah. Didn't he?
So what's news? How are you doing?
Yeah, good. I mean, like, music for me is taking a little bit of a back stance just because I needed to start making some money. So I started a PT based thing, which is all right. But I don't know. You and I we were mucking around making some TikTok beats just for fun. I haven't had a chance to release them, and like they're getting time sensitive because I need to release these because they're not going to be relevant or funny in about 3 weeks' time.
Yeah, so you should probably get on that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm trying to. It's just like, you know, again, I'm in a blessed place where I can. The internet is a beautiful thing. Huh?
You can do your job and make money off PT still.
Yeah, and you know, so it's like the thing I've noticed about this whole lockdown thing and everything else, it has stopped your momentum, but that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Because it's making you realize, all right, how do I become more efficient? Obviously, I can't speak for everyone because, I mean, if you're a bartender or a waiter or something like that, you can't, like, if you're not there, you can't do your job. So there's not like there's an efficient way to be a waiter online, but
exactly.
In what you know, music, even PT. You know, this course thing came along and now I'm developing an app and I've already broken even on the expenses of buying it for, you know, because it taught me this stuff of how to create a high ticket priced item. And, you know, like now it's just me, matter of my hard work making money. I mean, it's hard work, don't get me wrong. Like I'm filming about an average of 14 to 20 videos a week and editing and professionally uploading them and brainstorming them. So it's not like it's easy, you know, like I had this sort of epiphany moment with Stacey 2 days ago where I was just like, fuck, like it was a pat on the back moment, but it wasn't like an egotistical one. It was like, I know a lot of
like
shit.
You worked hard.
You know, like the fact that there was a little bit of the audio while I was, again, editing this video professionally. And then I was like, oh, this audio doesn't work. And the fact that I knew how to tweak the audio and the EQ and then de-ess it as well because of the music stuff we've done together. I'm like, you know, as a result, I'm able to make this product that I would have required 6-7 different people. I can do it on my own. Like, but again, that is also...
How much money does that save, you know what I mean?
100%. But it's also like, again, where we are in this time in history where I can do that and we can do that because of, you know, Adobe Premiere, because of Logic, because of all these programs that make it so fucking easy.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not hard to be a jack of all trades these days. You know, like even I said to Stace, like I forgot something in one of the videos, and I think this is actually probably really good. This is related to music actually. sometimes the quality doesn't have to be amazing for it to connect with people. So,
Oh, not at all.
you know, and I think
That's so correct.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's really opening up what I'm noticing with for me with the PT stuff and allowing for a much faster turnover based on what I know and how I need to like get an emotion out. And again, this is relevant to music that long story short, I've got workouts. It's a 6-7 day workout thing. They got workouts, but then they also have another thing which is meant to break down their psychological barriers. You know, like we all have barriers and everything, barriers in writing, barriers in why we up and down with our fitness. So one thing, you know, at first I was going to be like, oh, I don't want to film it professionally. One, don't have the time. Two, and this is, I twisted this so that it was true to them, but it also allowed me to be less professional. Because I said to them, like, you guys have been training at your house. So I'm going to film this at my house. Not in a beautiful studio, not in something else that's detached from reality. And this is the same as music. Like, if it's too perfect, people don't get attached to it. And with these videos, it's quite literally, I'm just holding a camera up, just talking to it like I'm vlogging. And then charging people $400 or $500 for this course. Because it's what they're getting out of it. It's not about the video quality. It's about what is connecting with them. And same with music.
Yeah, sure.
People don't listen like to things and go, wow, the quality of this song is so rich. They always say they love a song because it connects with them. And sometimes
well, I mean, you know,
poor
obviously
quality.
depending on your you know, who you're talking to, you know what I mean? There'll be people that would be like, I love the quality of this. People like me, you know what I mean? Who are in that part of the industry where that the quality is important to them because it's like, well, this, you know, this has been done really, really well.
100%.
But on the same side of things, you know, I listened to stuff that was done years ago, and while it may have been, you know, I guess high quality back then, you listen to it compared to nowadays standard, and it's like apples and oranges. You know what I mean? Like just the way that technology has progressed and given us a chance to actually be better is crazy.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that we have to.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Because it's just like you go through this stage where it's like, no, this has to be perfect. This has to be like that. Like, oh, this EQ has to, like, everything's got to be perfect. But it's like, well, does it really have to be perfect? No, it doesn't.
Yeah. And I think as well.
How does it connect with you?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. And it's that quest for perfection. Like, your stuff will never be ready.
Yeah.
You know, like,
100%.
it'll never be ready.
Knowing, half of the battle is knowing when to stop. You know what I mean?
100%.
It's like you're working on a song and it's like, okay, when yes, it isn't perfect, but when is it finished?
Yeah.
When is it like, when am I done with it? It's like, then that's for most artists and things, that's a massive battle. Like, you know, that mindset of being able to say, no, it's not perfect, but it's the best that I did at that time.
Yeah.
And as long as you can say that, and as long as you can say, yeah, you know what, I still love this because it's the best that I could do then. Yeah, sure, I do it differently now, but I know for a fact back then it was the best I could do.
Exactly.
I think that's super important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One thing I've noticed too with what I'm doing with this program for my clients, but again, this is super applicable for everyone else who is wanting to write music. As soon as you have a deadline and you have people that are waiting on you, you have no room for your own bullshit. You know, like I've sold this program. I knew the overall idea, you know, 19 minutes a day, 67 days. I'm taking you through a journey to break through and keep you consistent. I sold a bunch of people this $400 to $500 program. And all I had started, I only had filmed the first 5 days out of 67, you know? Yeah. But now with this pressure, it's forcing me to be like, all right, what is the most efficient way I can do it? So I ended up coming up with, all right, I film, because again, I need to film 20 videos a week about. Yeah. So I've got a system now where I do 3 workouts on, say, Monday, edit them that evening. Then I'm like 2 days ahead. Then I've got 3 days of the other one, edit them that day, and then after 40 days, I should have those 67 days. And the way that what I'm trying to like link that back with music is maybe tell your people that you've got a single coming out in 3 weeks' time, this date, and then make yourself have to post about it every second or third day. Like, can't wait for this song, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, oh shit, I need to release this. I need to release a song. You know, like what I'm realizing too with this is, and again, this ties to music, is sometimes you don't have to release everything. Doesn't have to be a banger. You know, like some of the little advice things, and like, yes, doing the advice stuff is so much easier because it's just me talking to a camera, and it's different to a song, of course. But what I've noticed with other creatives and everything like that, when there's that pressure and that expectation that something is coming out, your brain it figures it out. You know, like look at YouTubers; they do 3 to 5 YouTube videos a week. You know, like
crazy.
That is insane creativity. But again, it's like this muscle where their brain starts going, shit, I need to figure something out to do. And I think that would really help with procrastination and stopping that with artists. Have this thing of, well, I don't know, a song a month and tell everyone the rest of everything.
Yeah, I think, well, yeah, it's that whole theory of accountability. You know what I mean? Like, if you can't keep yourself accountable, have somebody keep you accountable.
100%.
So it's, I guess it's a way for, to have your followers keep you accountable.
Yeah.
You know, you're not just behind the scenes saying to you and your team, yep, we've got a deadline. This is our deadline. It's like, we're going to tell people that we have something coming out.
Yeah.
So and that not only puts pressure on you to finish a song or whatever, but it puts pressure on your team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because obviously people, might not mix and master or produce their own thing. So it's like, okay, I've written this song. I need somebody to produce it. Then I need to record it. And then I need to get it mixed and mastered. And then I need to put it out. So it's like, okay, I've got this deadline. I need to achieve all of these things in that deadline. Photo shoots, content for like the pre-release, and then content for the release, and then content for the post-release. It's like, you have to think of all these things. And if you have a deadline, at least you have something to make others keep you accountable. It's like you've got people relying on you. And it's like, if you don't drop something or have a decent reason, like that's you might lose followers, or, like your engagement will go down because people may not necessarily believe what you're going to say anymore.
Yeah.
So like it's a double-edged sword, you know what I mean? Like it can end bad, or it can be like, and I think in the process it shows who you as a person are. You know what I mean? Yeah. Are you accountable? Can you be held accountable for what you've done? And can you like keep up with that pressure? Because pressure can be good or it can be bad for a lot of people. You know what I mean?
I feel it makes or breaks people. Like
definitely.
What was it? There's this, I don't know where, I heard it from Cohen Ray actually, and it's to do with frustration. So when we're learning something, or we're, again, trying to be creative or something like that, of that nature, it's your brain trying to piece together these parts in your brain. How he explains it is it ends up being, you have 2 directions you can go. Like, you're frustrated because you can't quite make those connections yet. But what happens, you can either get frustrated and throw it away because you're fucking over it and you let that frustration be the focus, or you get excited because you now know, because you're aware now, I'm just trying to figure it out and I'm going to figure it out. It's, I just don't know how yet. And so by capturing that frustration and changing the mentality to like, all right, how the fuck do I get this done? Don't get frustrated. Just keep figuring it out because you'll get it. Opens up your creativity fucking huge. Yeah,
for sure. Massively.
And especially the deadline thing, you might not love the song, But then you release it because your time has run out, and your followers do.
Yeah.
You know, like how many times have you released a song and you're like, this is fucking mad, this is and then the reception to it was like, eh.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah,
reverse.
100%.
You know?
Yeah, of course.
So I don't know. I think that'd be a cool. If there's any artists watching this, I would love someone to do this and hit us up. You know, like release a song every, I know, first of the month for a whole year, or first or every fortnight. That because that consistency as well. Your followers know when stuff's coming out, and it sort of clicked with me with this when I was watching Machine Gun Kelly. He released a song just the other day, and you know, what is it like every musician basically is infrequent releases, and Machine Gun Kelly is huge, massive following. But again, his releases are infrequent, so people don't know about it. They're like, you know, they find out about it maybe a week later going, oh, MGK has a new song. He was pumped because he had 1 million streams in the first 12 hours. And that's 12 hours, like, you know, that's a song where people can listen to it multiple times. Now, put this into perspective of other people who have on YouTube who consistently post 3, 4, 5 videos a week or once a week or whatever it is, but it's consistent. And their followers know, just like a TV show, I check in at this time, this week, and they have a video. You know, like Logan Paul releases 3 videos a week, and in the first hour or two, he has 1 million or 2 million views. And very few of those are multiple listens versus a song where you can listen to it 2, 3, 4 times if it's brand new and you like it.
Yeah, for sure.
And it just comes down to consistency. You know, so it'd be kind of cool to see if an artist is already out there doing it, but it'd be cool to see if someone was like, all right, I'm going to treat the game like a YouTuber does and release like my episode being a song once a fortnight or once a month, but have that consistency. Closer the better, because, you know, when you're just in a flow state and you're just doing whatever, you know, some stuff does stick, some stuff doesn't. Like the other week, I wrote 3 songs in 3 nights, and I was like, because I just knew I had that rule of writing a beat and a song in 3 nights.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they weren't incredible, but they were way better than a lot of other songs I've done. And I did it in, you know, 3 hours each.
Yes, I mean it's a mad concept. You know what I mean? And you know, like, I mean, in this day and age, you know, like, I mean, fuck, look at most songs, they're getting shorter. You know what I mean? Everyone's attention spans are a little bit different. You know, and that in itself, you know, like leads to, I mean, I guess you can, like, you know, it is a little bit easier for you to release more, like, you know, songs more frequently. Obviously, this is a generalization because most of the artists that I listen to anyway, still have songs over 3 minutes. But, you know, there's a trend happening, like that songs are like 2 minutes and 40 seconds or, you know, 2.5 minutes even. And it's crazy, man. To me, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's weird. But, you know, think of when you're listening to music, or, you know, if you know somebody that's, I mean, younger than us, you know, let's say like 10 years younger than us. And it's like, okay, well, see how they listen to music.
Yeah.
And I mean, for the majority, I reckon probably like 2 minutes and they're done. You know what I mean? Like on to the next song, or like 100%. They have to skip because they're done with it. And it's like, you know, I need something new, constantly need something new.
Yeah.
Need new content. Like they need it's insane.
Yeah.
Insane. The amount of content that people take in every day is just insane.
And the thing too is, I mean, like if people aren't sure of their writing style or their style of music, bro, quantity will help you figure it out so much faster, because all of a sudden you're not thinking about it and you're more in a flow state. You know, like that's what I noticed when I did that 1 week. But unfortunately for me, like she got in the way because this course thing. But I would have, you know, I would love to see someone who is a dedicated muso try this. And like, you know, when we were doing it, my rule was it was 2 verses and the chorus twice, you know?
Yeah.
And that freedom and not even knowing, like I just went through Splice and found song by little clips and loops and fucked around with that. And the first hour was just me searching something. Then I'd hear one loop and I'm like, fuck, all right, boom, 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 boom. All right, try it and then add this. And then, you know, I'm like, oh, that's a sweet beat. And then, all right, what's a topic? Stuck in quarantine and I need to get laid, but I can't because I'm stuck in quarantine. All right, let's roll with that. Like, you know, like whatever the fuck comes to my mind. And that song slapped. I listen to it still. Like, I'm like, this is actually kind of cool. And the fact that I wrote this in like from having no fucking idea about what I was doing to this song in the space of 2 hours. I'm like, that's pretty cool. Like I learned, you know, I flexed that muscle in a way and trained it to have that creative freedom rather than creative frustration and getting, you know, like, oh, it should be sounding like this. I was like, nah, I have to finish it. I got to be in bed by 11:30 because I got to be up at 6 a.m. I have half an hour left. Get this thing done. And it was all right, you know?
Yeah. I think it's crazy. Like I've had more people hit me up to do work now during quarantine than I used to have.
Beautiful. Why is that, you think?
It's weird. I think it's because there's so many things that people can't do themselves.
Yep.
In this time. And because, I mean,
such as what?
Like you think about it, like, well, the elements of like mixing and mastering and things like that. Some production, like I've had a lot of the work that I've had come through at the moment is a lot of mixing and mastering.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because people have, like, you know, they've made their tracks themselves and they've recorded their vocals themselves, but the next phase they can't. They're not confident in their abilities to make something sound polished enough to then put it out.
Gotcha.
If you know what I mean. So
you just like the sort of final touches for them?
Yeah, 100%, you know. And then obviously, you know, depending on, you know, the songs and things like that, it's like, well, I think you should change this sound or that sound, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's a little bit of back and forth, but majority of the time, like, I mean, at the stage that I'm at, like, most of that is taken care of.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, a lot of the people that I work with aren't in that boat.
Yeah.
And I sort of, you know, depending on the job, I sort of try and stay clear of those things or tell them to change it themselves, because obviously if they want me to then change it, it's an added cost to them, which can change the budget drastically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I had this job happen, and you know, there was a bit of extra work to do and things like that, and the budget that they had, you know, and the price that I quoted them for the original job, and then having to do all the extra work, like, I mean, it basically doubled. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, and that was, for them, they were like, why has it doubled? And I'm like, well, look at the things that you wanted to change. And from what you kept giving me, because, you know, like I was generous and things like that, but it's like what you kept giving me didn't really fit the sonics of the rest of the song, and I would have still had to do just as much work.
Yeah.
Even if you kept giving me changes, you know what I mean?
100%.
Because at a certain point, I was just like, no, you've given me the stems, I'll work with these stems. That's it. You've given me, you know, these instruments, you know, like I think there was like a couple of pianos or something that didn't sound right, and I was like, well, they're okay, but they're not amazing. So it's like, well, you know, like I sort of had to do a bit of work and a bit of mixing, and like, you know, the job was purely mastering, but then I had to shape a couple of things, and it was like, well, you know, there was a bit of back and forth with that, and I was like, sort of, you know, and at the end of the day, this is why, you know, when I'm talking to you about, like, when you're doing my website and things like that, and we're discussing, well, what can they get for this price and what can they get for that price? It was like, it honestly always just depends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I will do my very best to, you know, obviously charge as little as possible for me to get the job done for you.
Yep.
To the best of my ability. But there's some times where, you know, if I have to do that much extra work, it comes down to a thing where it's like, well, you know, I have to talk to you about what I've quoted you and what has to change.
Yeah, and I think that's,
you know,
probably...
If you can't...
You go.
No, you go.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, whenever people are budgeting for things, they should have a 20% buffer
100%.
every time.
100%.
You know, like it's often,
100%.
it's not just artists, it's everyone. They have a budget
Yeah,
of $100.
definitely.
So they find someone who's quoted them $100 and then they need 20% more work. And now their project has been pushed back for like another couple of months or weeks or even days, which all of those options could fuck you up because they don't have the capital, because something unexpected has come. And every time something unexpected will happen, nothing goes to plan, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So yeah,
PR costs might cost a little bit more, or you know, figures might change, and that's just the nature of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might have to go and spend more time recording because you missed something once you've heard it all together, and it's like, well, that's not only money, but that's time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when can you book in again to go and do that?
100%. Yeah, time.
I had that happen as well. Like a client came in. We did the song. She was a singer, and we did the vocals. We did the vocals a day, and we like recorded them. And then once we had the mains and a few harmonies and things down, we were like listening to it, and we're like, it doesn't really sound like it needs anything more.
Yeah.
I was like, I told her, I was like, I'm pretty happy with how it sounds. How do you feel? And she's like, yeah, I think it's really good. You know what I mean? We don't see it needing any more. Like, all right, cool. Well, rested it, gave it a day or whatever. She sent me a message a couple of days later. She's like, look, I'm sorry, but after listening to it in more environments and again and over again, I feel like it does need a little bit more. It's like, okay, well, you know, you can come back in and do that, like, you know, and that's, you know, it's things like that where you have to be like, okay, well, you know, like now I sort of take an approach where it's like more is less. So like I will do extra recording when I have the artist, just in case.
Yeah.
Because if it comes to a stage where I've done a version and they're like, oh, it'd be great if we had a little bit of this or that, like, you know, just some extra vocals here or there or whatever. It's like, we recorded them, I just left them out. So how about I put them in?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have those extra things that we could add. I just left them out.
Yeah. Well, that's
because that's what we felt like on the day.
That's very true, because I say the same thing to Stacey all the time, to the point where she hates it. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. You know, like, and of course, whenever I use it with Stacey, it's more about, oh, should we pack this? Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And same with recording, you know, like, spend that extra 20 minutes recording other things for the possibility that doesn't
100%.
work.
That's it's so true. Yeah, like, you know, it's caught me off guard a couple times, and you know, like, I've made that change. You know what I mean? Like, I'd much rather, like, you know, say I've got, you know, 2 things to do in a day. One of them's a vocal session, and then one of them I have to mix a different song. I would much rather that vocal session take a little bit more time and have everything I need to know that when I eventually get to start mixing that, everything I need is there, even if I don't need it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we've got a perfect take of the main vocal. Let's do another one just in case.
Yeah. It's actually interesting.
You know what I mean?
It's interesting. So that made me think of something too about prioritization. You know, like, you do your vocal stuff and you allow a little bit more time for that, because, you know, you can go and master it whenever later. Like, you know, you don't need the artist there with you.
Yeah, I don't need the person there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's what I've been doing with my filming of my stuff. You know, like, I can film it during the day. Do it the first thing. Because, again, shit's going to get in the way. I'm going to have to do something else, or I might just there might be a stint, like this, just before we got on this call. I was going to shoot another video, and I was like, I want a nap. I needed a nap, bro. Like, I'm going to be half asleep on this podcast. You know?
Blake loves a good nap.
100%. Love a good nap, guys. But but that's the thing. Like, do all the hard stuff first, because then, as in the stuff you can't do later. Like, I know I can edit these videos until 11 o'clock at night tonight, but I can't film it later on tonight because there's no light. The sun's down.
Yeah, exactly.
So prioritizing what I can do, or what I need to do first, because I can do what I can do later. And that's a good point about that too. Like, spend that extra bit of time at the beginning recording it, or having some fun with it, or, you know, that loose time, so that when you're in the studio and you don't have that option and it needs to get done, you have the playing around with it before.
Yeah, man, that just leads to like I think we can do like, you know, a few different podcasts like this, like a few different episodes, but talking about things, you know, specifically like that, like, you know, say how I treat, you know, that whole process. You know what I mean? How, you know, and then, you know, maybe, I don't know, if people want this, we can talk about, like if people, I mean, yeah, like the best thing would be if anybody has any questions about any of these processes that we're talking about, like recording vocals or mixing or mastering, like hit us in the comments. Like, let's, you know, like
an FAQ.
start asking me questions. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, maybe we can get some, like, I've got a couple mates that, you know, mix for certain people, and if you have any questions, maybe we can get them on and talk to them, or, you know, like I can just ask them and then we can get back on. But yeah, I think, what do people want to know about? You know what I mean? It's like, we've done what, like maybe 5, 6 podcasts now?
6 or 7?
6 eps?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
But like you know, apart from, you know, people coming on and us talking to them, sorry, I'm just playing with the headphone cable. just curling it and uncurling it. Apart from, you know, people coming on and us talking to them about, you know, their process and things like that, like if people want to know anything technically specific, you know, that we can sort of go through, by all means, like hit us up, you know, like that's what social media is for.
100%. Well, even just absorbing all the information and these sort of things. Like I listen to podcasts all the time about business and all that sort of stuff. I don't have the intention to learn a specific thing, but I'll listen to a podcast and then all of a sudden be like, fuck, I never thought of that. And then I start applying it. You know what I mean? Because again, like sometimes you don't know what you're looking for. Like sometimes, like someone listening to this might not even have thought, oh shit, prioritizing what I should do. Oh shit, I should just try an exercise of throwing out a song every 2 weeks and see how the audience receives that. You know, I think it's very interesting. I think it's too common that we think we know best about what our audience wants. And I think Drake's a good testament to this. Like he's always experimenting with stuff. And even MGK right now, MGK is now doing pop punk. Because he's like, no, fuck it. I want to do what I want to do. And guess what? Some people are frothing. He's got new people listening to his shit. He also has his old fans going, this is crap. But he's like, bro, I'm doing what I want to enjoy. And he's gained, not that it's worth much, he's gained my respect. Like I was like, MGK, like, I don't know, he's an Eminem wannabe, blah, blah, blah. But now, after I've seen him be a real artist, I'm like, I really respect this dude because, I mean, that and also his Motley Crue, like his acting's fucking insane. Like, you know, like he's adventuring into completely different things. He's not staying in his lane. And I think that's when people start going, holy shit, like, that's really cool. Like, you know, and same with music, like experiment, do a song that you're like, bro, this is what I like, but I don't think they'll like it, but fuck it, I'll throw it out. Or, you know, like again, just experiment, have fun with it.
Definitely.
Because
I think now's a better time than any. You know what I mean? Like
and
why not?
You never know how to, like, again, back to Old Town Road, bro. If Lil Nas X went to a fucking a record label going, oi, I've got this song, it's country mixed with electronic music, they'd be like, get the fuck out, you idiot. You know? But he did it. He marketed it in a smart way through TikTok. And then all of a sudden, Billy Ray Cyrus and Diplo are doing a collab with him on a remake. Like, you know, you just don't know what's going to pop. And the cool thing is just do whatever you want, but be consistent and throw it out there. The more you hide it, no one's going to like your song if they haven't heard it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. That's such a fact.
Like, I hate to tell you, but I don't like your song that I haven't heard. Like,
no, like it's you. No, I'm not gonna like it. I haven't heard it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna like it. I was like, come on,
just put songs out. Like, I don't know, and there's a liberation to that too, because all of a sudden there's like, it's a free flowing detachment. You know, I've seen you jam, dude. I've seen you. It just looks like you're not even thinking. It's just like blah
Most of the time, I'm not.
Yeah. What's up, Danny?
To be completely honest.
But you know what I mean? Like, and that's the cool thing. And that's what I think people need to do. And I can tell that you have an idea, but you're also very free and not, I can see Danny doing the cigarette
You
smoke.
see the vape? He's my special effects guy.
I love it.
Shout out at Danny Duke.
Yeah, I forgot where I was going, but you know, just do your shit.
No, 100%,
fun.
man. Yeah, like,
Oh, that's right.
yeah, I think,
he's still doing the vaping.
bro, he'll keep doing it forever.
Fuck, man.
He's a very consistent SFX guy.
He's literally a human smoke machine.
Look at it. Fabulous. We have a smoke machine at the studio as well, but we just use Danny. He's much better.
Oh, it's more cost effective for you too.
You're definitely more cost effective. But yeah, no, like, you know, like, I think, yeah, on top of your saying, you know, it's a bit liberating. It's like, well, you start to care less about what other people think.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because you're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for anybody else.
Yeah, and that is so important.
When you do things like that. Yeah, definitely, man.
Oh.
You get caught up in comments and reviews, and yeah, it's great to have people leave great reviews, but then, you know, people are always going to leave shit reviews. It doesn't matter if your song is the most perfect thing in the world. There's going to be somebody that doesn't like it.
Put it this way, the haters are great for interaction. Think of the song Friday, Friday. That chick is more famous than anyone probably listening to this podcast. And guess what? Everyone hated that song. She made more money from that song than you know.
They still spoke about it. They still played it. Like,
There
you
we
know,
go.
even if they hated it, they were like, "Oh, have you heard this song?
Have you
How
heard this
trash
shit,
is it?"
Vaughn?
Like,
yeah, and then they'd play it at like weddings or whatever and be like, how silly is this? Like, even Baby Shark. Baby Shark made a lot of a lot of money. You know, like,
damn.
Haters also pay your bills. You know, it's just that, I guess, that you need that confidence. And one thing that's really, like, people have to be careful of is the thing of like, fuck the haters. Still listen a little bit with a grain of salt, because maybe your song genuinely is shit. Don't do another one or learn from that. You know, like this whole thing, I think, where we've gone too far now, where it's too much like, you know, please everyone, then it's fuck the haters. It's like, well, no, like, if you're an asshole and someone says, bro, you're an asshole, they're not a hater. Maybe you are an asshole, and maybe there's a few things you need to change. You know, they're not a hater, bro. They're just saying, like, you know. And I was guilty of that. Like, I remember 2-3 years ago, and I was really new with my music, super fucking insecure. And one guy said to me, bro, it's shit. And he said it to my face, and everyone else was saying it behind my back. And I was so fucking insecure, and I hated him for being an asshole. Fast forward 12 months from that point, yeah, it was bad. I was out of key. I was horrible. Now he and I get along really well, because I'm like, yeah, bro, I was just a bit of a sensitive fuckwit at that time. And now he listens to my beats, and he's like, it's not what I will listen to, but I respect. Bless you, babe. But I respect that it sounds good. It has a beat, and I like, you know, I can see people enjoying it. That in itself, being able to grow past that insecure phase of fuck the haters and he's an asshole to, okay, maybe it was shit, but why? Or was he being a dick? Like, sometimes people are just being dicks.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's being able to know that it's hard, and it takes time.
Definitely.
Yeah, but it also is important to sometimes your song does suck. We've made plenty of them, and we've made some that we like, you know. So
Ain't that a fact?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like that's anything else you want to jump in? I feel like that's been just the flow.
I think that's pretty good, man. Like, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
Like, we said some shit.
I know.
People
I love
might
it.
listen.
I was thinking here, I'm like, yeah, it'll be 20 minutes, and I looked down at the timer. I'm like, okay, it's already been like 25 minutes at that point when I looked at it. I was like,
legit.
Classic Jamie and Blake.
I did the same thing. I was just like, we're like right in the middle of a point, so like I'm probably just gonna let it go.
Bro, this is probably yeah. And I did it. Still didn't even. Okay, before we leave, I need to finish the story I didn't tell you about. I could have.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't. I lost $3,000 in a couple of hours. So okay.
Oh, is that when it was like that massive drop on Friday?
No. So I've been investing in some Bitcoin things, and I like to play a little like the fast-paced game. And I make like $100 in Fortnite, and then $200 here and there, and whatever. I've had this one coin that I've been in with for the last 4 or 5 months, and I've been making micro gains, and it's been hovering between 8 cents to 12 cents, like just going up and down, pretty much flatline the last 3 months. And I'll make a couple of bucks, drop it, buy back in, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I never sell out 100% of it. I never sell 100% out. I'll sell out 50%, buy back in, and whatever. One night, I decided, last Thursday, I'm like, I'm going to sell all of it out, wait for it to drop, buy it all back in so I can get like $400 instead. Bro, I shit you not. I sold out. 12 hours later, up 50%. It was just a vertical spike, and I would have made $1,600 from that one spike, and I sold out just before. It gets worse. So the stock that I've been invested in that I made I made the 250% profit in a week. I put in a bid for $29 on this stock, $5,000 worth. And I was like, Matt, I forgot that I put this bid in. And I was sitting at $29.15 on the close on Friday. And on Monday, it was going to trigger to buy $29. And I was like, nah, I think I'll drop a bit. I'll change that $29 to $28. I checked back at 11 a.m. It dropped to $29 and then shot to $36. I would have made another $1,500 in 2 hours. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
Bro, that's the greed of the trade, man.
Bro, but like the fact that I had the right instinct, I change it because I'm like, nah, I think it should be this. And I miss out on over $3,000 possibility of me doing nothing. And I'm like, this is fucked.
Hindsight is a bitch.
I know.
Absolute bitch. I've done that so many times, man.
Sucks, man.
So many times.
Such bullshit.
It's so funny.
Anyways, guys, don't invest in stocks because
Nah, do it.
Do it. Just don't take my advice. Whatever I tell you, if I say sell out, hold it for another 24 hours. All right, let's end it on that one, dude. I love seeing your face.
100%.
And we'll chat
You
again
too, bro.
in a couple of days.
Good catch up.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can visit you now. 2 adults. 2 adults allowed to visit. All right.
Yeah. I think we still have some restrictions here.
That's
just
all right.
Personally.
Matt, we'll go Mad Mex and have some Mexican food. Yeah, done. All right, on that note, make sure to subscribe, guys, and let us know what stuff you want to hear about below. Peace.
Peace out, guys.